This patient was referred to me for endodontic retreatment of tooth number 3. This root canal was done by his dentist a couple of years ago, and patient's been in pain on and off for the past few months. As you can see, porcelain crown. Look at that gigantic prefab metal post. Previous root canal, huge periapical relucency here. Palatal canal is fine, distal buccal is fine too. So went over options with patient, and patient decided that he wanted to try to see if tooth could be saved. And take a look here, multiple angulation PAs. I don't need the CBCT, and I can already see the missed MB2 right there. All right, so today we decided to go ahead and, as I said, do selective endodontics. We treated MB1, MB2, and distal buccal only. No need to mess with the palatal because there's no lesion associated with the palatal canal. It would have been a pain to try to remove this gigantic metal post. Clamp, Hugh Freddy for upper molars. Looks like a porcelain crown, so we're going to be going through the porcelain crown to redo this root canal. And you have the plastic, please. All right, excellent. So have the plastic ready just in case. Yeah, there we go, plastic. So pass it through. Excellent, here we go. All right, frame. Thank you very much. All right, thank you. Excellent. All right, that's rubber down. 20 seconds. 70% isopropyl. We sterilize everything before we get started. Rubber down, the tooth, the clamp, everything gets wiped down with 70% isopropyl alcohol on every case, every case. All right, excellent, here we go. Yes, please. The porcelain crown. So went through the porcelain crown with the round diamond. Now with the long diamond, we're gonna go ahead and take out the buildup. Right now, sorry, you missed it. Okay. All right, so when I get close to where I don't have good visualization with the diamond, I switch to my ultrasonic unit. Alright, I can see you got a pressure now. I'm using the thinner diamond to trough. It looks like maybe there's a missed MB2. Diamond, I like to trough for MB2 using my diamond because diamond cuts cleaner versus the ultrasonic. So, and I'm constantly modifying my endo axis. All from the beginning all the way to the end. I'm constantly modifying this. Just to make sure that I have better visualization, direct straight line access to the canals. So let's start and see if there is a missed MB2 here. Alright, those. Let me have the ultrasonic one more time. Now I'm going to use my ultrasonic to remove the coronal part of the gutta percha from the canal. So I put the ultrasonic in, and it just melts the gutta percha off the coronal part, and it comes out just like that. Alright, so it removes the bulk of the gutta percha. I'm going to do the same for the mesial. There you go. You can see how dirty the gutta percha is. The gutta percha is black. You can see the black staining up on the gutta percha. So that tells me that the whole canal has been contaminated. It's contaminated. All right, and I can already see the mist MB2 right there, right next to MB1. I can see the mist MB2 right there. All right, so very good. So now we're gonna use C solution to remove the rest of the gutta percha. All right, now I'm gonna use C solution and a number 15 file on my reciprocating handpiece. That's my reciprocating handpiece, number 15 C file. And David, go ahead and open, please. And I'm just gonna remove the remaining of the gutta percha. Just allow the chloroform to get to the inside of the canal. There you go. That's it. That's wide open now. That's the distal buccal. Just like that. And we're doing selective endodontics because if you look at the PA on the monitor, you can see how long that post is in the palatal canal, and the fact that there is no lesion associated with the palatal root. So we're just going to leave the palatal root be. That's my 10C file, and I'm in the MB2 right now. That missed MB2, I found it. It took me, what, 20 seconds to find it? And this is the missed MB2 right there, and I'm instrumenting it right now. That's the missed MB2, and I can already go to my estimated working length with my 10C file. There you go. Missed MB2, easy. Right there. That's MB1 right there. And that's distal buccal. Right there. Alright, let's go ahead and take our measurement now. We're going to use our apex locator. So that's on your side. You need to put that in the patient's mouth. 22. Alright, let's see now. Alright, apex locator now. Go ahead and open, David. Thank you. Alright. Alright, those 22. Okay. So that's 22. We confirmed it. Our estimated working length from the PA was also 22. So, and right there, and that is also 22 millimeters. Perfect. All right. All right. So now that I know my working length is 22, I'm using the 15C file. I'm in MB2 right now, and 15C file goes to length. That's MB2. I'm brushing with it, and this is MB1. I'm sorry, actually this is distal buccal. It just fell into distal buccal, so I'm not going to take it out of distal buccal just because it fell into it. All right, David, open wide for me. And let's see if I can put it in. Yep, that's MB1. I'm going to length. Now I'm using isopropyl. What isopropyl does is coagulates the mixture of chloroform and gutta percha. It kind of clumps everything up, so it's easier to remove. That's the effect of isopropyl on the mixture of gutta percha and chloroform. It clumps everything together. Now I'm going to use my clarifier, and I'm going to use it in a brushing motion and get the rest of the gutta percha particles out of the canals. All right, thank you. So I noticed that he was closing his mouth. So instead of me just constantly telling him, David, open, David, open, David, open, David, like for the next half an hour, I'll just put a bite block in and get it over with. Just relax your jaw on this, David. Okay. All right, very good. All right, so I touched his mouth, and so this is not sterile anymore. So we're just gonna spray some. What is it called? So the show it to the camera. So we're gonna spray that on my hand, and now my glove is sterile again. So everything is done under sterile condition. All right. So now I'm going in with my flare file, and I'm gonna just brush with my flare file. Just don't touch anything else. Alright, just like that. Brushing, brushing, brushing. I need to kind of bend this a little bit like that so I can get into the MB1. Just like that. And look, my flare file goes already in MB1 goes all the way to my working length. And look at the stuff I'm pulling out. You see how nasty this stuff is? Look at this. Look how black everything is. This means there was a lot of contamination during the root canal. It turned the gutta percha black. I'm going to start irrigating with full strength 6% hypo. So I'm going back in with my flare file. I'm just gonna flare, brush, flare the canals, brush. Just brush the walls and get rid of all the contaminated, infected dentin along the walls of the tube. Really. Just like that. Just like suction. This is the white E-Flex S by 80. Just let it slide right in. There you go. That's in, I'm in MB2 right now. And look how much it's cutting. Look, the flutes are filled. So we're gonna clean out the flutes. The great thing about the heat treated files is that you can bend them like this. So that's the yellow E-Flex S, the yellow one. Some people say, well, usually MB1 and MB2 join, so why should we even find the MB2 and instrument it? Well, if you don't find the MB2, like what happened in this case, dead nerve tissue and bacteria, necrotic infected pulp tissue and bacteria were left behind in the uninstrumented MB2. So what happened is that all of that necrotic tissue and bacteria cause the periodical lesion that you see on the X-ray. Everything leaks, and it takes just a few days for the bacteria, microorganisms in the untreated tooth to leak out
and cause, I'm just confirming to make sure that they join. Yeah, they do join. Recapitulating with my 15 file and also activating. This causes sonic activation, as we talked about before. The reciprocating handpiece, when it's run at 1000 RPMs, it causes sonic waves, and that's what I do. So I make sure that I'm patent, and also I am activating the hypo. I'm brushing, activating the hypo, and making sure that the canals are patent. Excellent. Alright, so we're near the end. So microsuction to remove most of the hypo from the canals. Then we're gonna blow a little air. Alright, very good. Excellent. Little air just to make sure the walls are nice and dry. Alright, thank you. Alright, now sterile paper points next to further clean, dry the canals. So that's in MB1. That's another test you can do to make sure that MB1 and MB2 join, and this is as far as this one goes in the MB2. As you can see, it's much shorter. Now if I pull this out from MB1, now I can seat this in MB2, as you can see. So MB1 and MB2 join, and that is the distal buccal right there. Distal buccal right there. Nice. Now I'm gonna use the sterile paper points and coat the walls with AH Plus sealer, just like that. MB2 and this tobacco. Coat the walls. That's it. That's it.
Okay.
All right. All right, grab this from me. All right. My gutta-percha gun goes in. I'm in MB1, but I'm backfilling both basically. MB1, MB2, they join. So I don't teach this. As I'm injecting, you see gutta-percha's coming out of MB2. That's gutta-percha coming out of MB2. It's like a little cane. There we go. And now I'm gonna condense the gutta-percha. Just like that. Apply slight apical pressure to the gutta-percha. Allow it to three-dimensionally fill the canals. All right, so that's it. We are done with this with this tooth. Retreatment of tooth number 3 through a porcelain crown, isopropyl, to clean the walls before we put that sterile sponge and cap it. Everything has to be nice and clean and sterile. Very good. Nice and dry and clean. All right. Sterile. Let me have another one. Thank you. Good job. All right. Have it. Goes in. Just a little bit more. Perfect. That's it. Thank you very much. All right. We're going to clean him up and take a couple of PAs. And he's good to go. Thank you very much. And here's the post-op. As you can see, everything went beautifully. MB1, MB2, distal buccal. And as I said, we left palatal alone. So we treated MB1, MB2, and distal buccal. Retreated. Look at that nice lateral right there. MB1 and MB2 joined, but that doesn't mean that if we, as you saw in this case, that just because MB2 joins MB1, some people say, well, some clinicians say, well, if we miss the MB2, it should be okay. But you saw in this case, that was not the case here, because what happens is that if you leave necrotic tissue and microorganisms behind, over time, if you even do a good seal on the MB1, over time, these microorganisms and their byproducts leak out into the periapical area, causing the periapical relucency, infection, and symptoms.